So today we're here with Willow Homes, a local home builder and remodeler who has been working with clients in the Birmingham area for over 14 years. Thank you for being here with us today, guys.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. So we want to ask you a couple of questions today.
Jason, first question would be, when you approach an older home, what are some clues on whether or not it's a good investment?
Location is the first thing I'm looking at. So is it in a neighborhood where people are really trying to get into? We've got appreciation and value, and looking at the street front and checking out the home initially to just see, is there stuff on the outside we need to do, or we're going to be mostly focused on the inside?
And when you talk about the location, what we're really getting at behind that is investment, right? So if we're going to invest in remodeling an older home, I think what we want to know is, will the neighborhood absorb that value? Is it appreciating? Can you renovate that home and not be underwater, right? That's important. And is it a good place to make that financial investment? Right.
Yeah, we've worked with hundreds of clients, and that's kind of really the start of the process, and the best way to look at it on the front end is, am I getting value on this initial purchase that allows me the budget to do what I want to do to the home? And that exists in these older neighborhoods, in a lot of situations.
Yeah, they have charm, and they've got the infrastructure, and they're usually close to all of the shops and dining and all the restaurants and everything people really want to be in. And they're usually really walkable, especially here in Birmingham. There's countless ones you can name. Yeah. So charming. So then after that, then you really start to analyze the home itself. And there's some things that you guys are looking at, right?
Yeah, really, we kind of start a little bit with the age of the home. That's something that we've picked up on over the years. But initially, when I walk in, I'm looking for things that maybe have already been updated or already seem really good in today's world, and maybe is something we're not going to be touching. So trying to identify right off the bat, where are we going to be focusing on and what are we going to be leaving alone?
Yeah, so if you can find a home that maybe you don't have to spend on a new roof or a new HVAC system, that's going to free up some money for you just to glam up the kitchen, right? Or to do a really nice master bath, if possible. But sometimes you probably find there are some things, especially given how construction's changed over the last 100 years, that some of these homes are going to maybe need some updating. Can you tell me a little bit about some things that you look for when you're analyzing these homes?
So when we first come in, we're looking at a couple of different things. Foundation's very key into that to make sure it's built on a good structure. You're also going to look at certain areas. Framing in older houses typically isn't up to code, along with some electrical things. So we're always analyzing certain areas of the house to see where we think some maybe problems may lie, to make sure we're making a good plan to resolve them and find the best way to get them fixed. And that kind of all begins with just a very open scope of work from a client, and just really relaying to us what their needs are for the house, what are some wants they would desire to have, and then also a time frame they're comfortable spending either in that home under that condition or either away from it somewhere else.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah. So when you guys start to renovate, tell me a little bit about what gets you going. What do you love about it? What's the fun part of it?
To be quite honest, when I first started, I wasn't a huge fan. I came from a line of construction that was all new construction based. So when I first got into remodels, I was a little nervous. I wasn't as familiar with the process. And the last 6 years, I've learned a whole lot during that. But it just tells the story. The age of the house, it's really interesting. You can kind of pinpoint when certain things were popular, certain eras were happening, and you're trying to preserve a piece of that. So you're trying to match something with a historical existing home, and you're trying to bring it new life. You're trying to bring another family in there that can kind of tell their next story from there.
Really, yeah, and give it like another 100 years. That's
Hopefully,
pretty exciting.
yeah. That's the goal.
I mean, the before and after is still,
People love seeing that.
I love the before and after just as much as anybody else does.
And what we're seeing in a lot of newer remodels with these older homes is some of the older styles are coming back into style.
Yeah.
They're becoming the new style again.
People want that wood trim. They don't want to paint it. They used to paint it all the time.
Yeah, there's a great path really for any of the homes that we find. They're either 30s and 40s and they're very cottagey, or Tudor and they're gorgeous. I mean, honestly, some of the newer stuff today is being designed to look like that. And then the 50s and 60s in the Brady Bunch style. I mean, that turns into a great modern looking home. So yeah, you got good choices either way you go.
So what would you guys tell anyone watching today that is just really excited about maybe potentially doing a renovation here in Birmingham? What kind of advice would you give them about where to get started? What's their first step?
Well, my best advice is to always surround yourself with experts in this process. So I would first start with a real estate expert, an agent that knows an agent that really does know remodeling or renovation, knows the older communities, the existing communities, because you really are trying to find that place where there's value. I mean, that's the first step.
What the home is valued at now and what its potential can be.
That gap between what you're paying now and what it could be when you're done.
That's the make or break number.
That's the money we're using in most circumstances. Mm-hmm. And then nobody loves talking about foundations and roofing and insulation and framing. So that next step, once you're committed, it really is good to get a builder involved to kind of find out how the home looks from that standpoint. Mm-hmm. That's not as much of the fun money to spend. And so you want to know, is there a lot to do there or not a lot to do there? And that helps you decide things.
And helping you determine, again, thinking about the historical age of the home, what are the likely surprises here? And having someone who's taken apart many, many of these homes, you know what to look for. And so having someone that you can pull in when you get ready to make that decision is pretty important, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just experience. That's what teaches you those lessons. You
Can't
have
watch
to go
YouTube
through
videos
it.
enough for that.
No. So yeah, the age gives us a lot of clues right off the bat of things to look out for. It doesn't mean that they're there. It just means they're things that we're going to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's great thoughts. Thank you. We've really loved talking with you guys today, and we appreciate all of your insights. And thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank